All right, we're going to do the video capture of the end of the inspection here with Casey. So Casey, you said that there's nothing big on the roof, but you wanted to talk about the roof a little bit?
Yeah, the roof itself, the material is a rolled composition material, and it was done probably within the last 5 years, I guess. It doesn't look that old. But there are a couple things that were kind of done incorrectly up there, so I did take a couple pictures of them. One of them being along the west edge of the roof, the material did not make it all the way to the edge of the roof. Okay. So there's a, it ends up being a little gap right along the edge, and they've patched along that west edge.
So was it just literally like an inch you were sort of
indicating?
Yeah,
it's probably about that much all the way along probably about 30 feet of the west end. So they just put a bunch of the tar to kind of fill in that gap. So that's something that every couple years you'll have to go up there and make sure that that tar hasn't deteriorated from the sun. Okay. So
how is that doing right now?
It's good. Everything's good up there on that. It's just done wrong. That's the thing. There's a couple areas where they ran new gas lines from the gas meter, so they penetrated the roof surface in different areas.
Okay.
And where they penetrated the roof surface, they put a piece of flashing where they covered that hole, or where they drilled a hole into the roof, and so that flashing is sitting on top of the roofing material, and that's incorrect because that flashing should be on the actual plywood, and that roofing material go over the top of it.
So
again, now there's a lot of that tar, that ceiling where that flashing is sitting on top of the material. So and that just requires more maintenance.
Okay, so it's not like it's not something that is currently
an issue.
An issue.
No.
And okay.
But it is something that you'll have to monitor. Okay. It's not, if it was done properly, you wouldn't have to worry about it for 10, 15 years.
Okay.
But now you'll have to worry about it every 2 to 3 years because that sealant will deteriorate because of the heat.
Okay, so it's a maintenance concern.
Maintenance, exactly.
Okay.
The third thing that's going on the roof is the vent pipe to the water heater is missing a cap. So the cap is probably either blown off from the wind or it was never put on when they put the new water heater in. But nonetheless, you have a 4-inch hole on that pipe that doesn't have a cap on it.
Oh, okay. So that's sort of get somebody out here at some point.
Correct. Number 4, what I'm talking about, you have a sub-electrical panel inside the garage, okay? And inside the garage, inside that panel, there's one breaker inside that panel that has 2 wires going to it. And that's a code violation. There should only be 1 wire going to each breaker so that the circuit is not overloaded.
So does that need another breaker added to it?
It'll probably need a different kind of breaker because there's no more room to add breakers. So instead of having a breaker that can only receive 1 wire, they make a breaker that can use up the same amount of space but has 2 switches where 2 wires can go in.
So replace it with a different breaker,
put the
breaker. 2. Okay.
Correct.
So, all right, we can look at the air conditioning.
Okay, your air conditioners are newer 2014 units. Okay, great. Okay. Because they're newer, they are more efficient. So they have a sticker on it that says protect me with no bigger than a 35 amp breaker.
Okay.
And that's inside the main electrical panel, which is all further on the west side of the house. They are being protected by 40 amp breakers. So the breakers are exceeding what the unit requires. Okay. Very common. I see it because they put these new units on and they don't have breakers in their truck. So these new units are more efficient than the old units. So the old breakers were bigger to pump the older, less efficient units. So what needs to be done is the 2 40 amp breakers inside the main electrical panel need to be swapped out with either 35 amp or 30 amp. It just can't exceed 35 amps.
Okay.
Okay.
And is that a relatively easy thing to do?
It's very easy in terms of electrical world. They flip the main breaker so that kills all the power in the panel. They take out the other one, put the other ones in, hook up the wires.
Okay, great.
So it's an easy fix in terms of electrical world.
Okay.
And even the air conditioning guys do it.
Okay.
They just probably didn't have those breakers on their truck.
Okay.
Okay, moving on further on the west side of the house, all I noted on the west side of the house also was you got a little bit of chip, deteriorated stucco in little areas along the bottom of the walls from moisture, sprinklers, hoses, but that's what's going on here.
Okay.
I also noted that this conduit for the cable wire is above ground, okay? So I did note that. That would probably be something that you can get Time Warner out here to fix for free, but that's, present a trip hazard. It's kind of right over this patio right here, and if it gets lifted up anymore, or it'll get saturated with water as well.
Okay.
So I did note that, and that's the same one that goes right here into the side of the wall, into the actual cable box.
It does dive under for a while, but then it comes back
Correct,
up.
And it should all be underground at least 6 to 8 inches.
Okay.
Another thing I noticed, you see this white plastic pipe right here. This is a PVC pipe that's laying above ground that will get brittle from the sun.
Okay.
It should also be buried below ground, but that is pumping your mister system. Okay, you have a mister system on your rear patio. And this plumbing, attach it to where it's not directly affected by the sun, or
either attach up here or bury it.
Correct.
Okay.
And as I said, so I put on the west side and on the south side, on north side of the house, you see the pipe going up the wall here. And then the mister system itself is inoperable. All the nozzles are clogged. Okay, so when you turn on your mister system, no water comes out of your nozzle. So all those nozzles need to be unscrewed, put in some CLR or lime away. Someone's going to take all the minerals out of it, and then you can screw them back on if you want the system working. But this is just a gravity system, or a pressurized system from the water. There's no pump, so they get clogged easily.
Okay.
That outlet right there, that's an outlet that is not GFCI protected. Okay, exterior outlets you want GFCI protected, especially on every transaction.
Okay.
Or if the house has been remodeled or upgraded.
So this is between the sliding doors to the kitchen and the sliding doors to the dining room.
Correct. It's the only outlet on the north side of the house.
Okay.
Okay. And this is more of an FYI. Nothing's wrong with this, but if your mister system is working, this is where you would relieve the pressure that's still left into the pipes. So if you open that up, it'll relieve the pressure that's left inside the pipe. Out to the front of the house, or the south side of the house and the west side of the garage, you see the soil level is way above the foundation level. So this soil is really, really high. You don't have any evidence of moisture penetrating the walls on the interior side of it, but that could be a long-term result. So you want that shoveled down, probably only about 2 inches above the sidewalk level, not much higher than that.
So if you wanted to keep the way that it looks right now, where it is going up, would you also just take it away from the house
Some
and
type
then
of moisture barrier, put some type of moisture barrier between the earth and the stucco.
Okay.
Okay. But right now that earth is way too high. And then it's also on the west side of the garage. You can see it's even sitting above the vents of the garage.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just too high.
All right, so kind of work with that, make sure that's better.
That's why that's pointed out.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna go into the garage.
Okay. All right, we're in the garage. What do we have here in the garage? Yeah,
Okay, here we go in the garage. Take two. Here's your water heater. It's a 2015 water heater, 50 gallon, working well. The only thing I noted with that is that the water lines on top of the water heater are missing the black foam insulation, okay? And they're required to have that little black foam insulation. Minor fix, but it is a code requirement.
Okay.
I also noted inside this closet that there's some moisture stains in the ceiling from a past roof leak. Okay. Everything on your roof looks fine, but I did want you to know that I did notice all these stains inside here.
Okay, and we were here on kind of a wet day one day and didn't really see anything, but it seems all right. And then furnaces.
Yeah, here's your furnaces. These are your 2 heater units. Okay, they're 2014 Lennox brand, high efficiency, well working, 2014 model, same year as your air conditioner. So, like I said, somebody spent a lot of money on all this stuff for you guys.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. Also in the garage, what I noted is on the ceiling there's some stains, some patch stains, some patch seams. So there have probably been some cracks on the ceiling here, as well as evidence of some past water penetration. So I did make a note that these all these past areas were here.
And that was the roof was in good shape, so that
that
is
appears
probably
to be
passed.
passed. That's my guess. Yeah, but like I said, without it raining or without me going up there with a hose, I'm not going to go 100%. So.
Right.
Again, here is your water shut off to the house. Okay, it was off when I got here, so I'm turning it back off. Inline is on, horizontal is off. That is how you shut off the water to the inside of your house.
Okay.
Also here in the garage, this is your garage fire door. This door separates the garage from the interior living areas. It's required to be solid in construction, which it is, but it's also required to self-close and latch. That's to prevent a fire from entering your house for 20 minutes, so that way it stays contained in your garage for a while, so you have enough time to get out of another exit. As you can see, it does not self-close and latch.
Okay.
This is the sub-electrical panel that I mentioned earlier, okay? And then it's probably I think it's this breaker right here that's double tapped.
Okay.
But as you can see, there's no more room to add any additional breakers. So you'll have to change this breaker style to a double switch breaker style.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, I know you're going to get to this, but we're on this wall, and this is where the gas probably would come into the dryer and then over to the stove, but that's abandoned on this side? Is that
Well,
right?
it appears to be that they ran all new gas line from the meter to this closet where your furnaces and your water heater are, and that's it. That's the only thing I see on the roof is where it penetrates the roof. I think everything built within the walls of the house during the initial construction have been abandoned, and so just the only new gas lines have been run in this closet.
So,
the reason I know this is because inside the laundry room here,
come on in. Okay, I'm coming.
Inside the laundry room here is a gas line that's plumbed with the wall with the valve. And when I open that valve, no gas comes out of it. Okay, so that's why I'm saying everything that's in the walls has probably been abandoned.
Okay.
And so that if you'd want any other gas outlets in addition to what's in the garage, you'd have to replumb them.
Okay, so does that mean just hooking them back up to them?
No, because the meter has a whole new pipe off the meter, so it would have to be tapped in from the pipe that's on the roof and then brought either through a wall down to the room.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be a little bit invasive, but that's the only way to get it done at this point.
And that means that there's also nothing going over to...
No, there's a gas line that's stubbed out underneath that range right there that has no gas to it also. In the den here is inside the closet of the den. There's some moisture stains on the ceiling where water had penetrated here in the past as well. Okay.
Okay.
So I have pictures of those also in the report.
Okay.
The other thing I noted in the den is those entry doors to the den, these bifold doors. Okay. They don't have any knob on the inside. The knobs have been removed. So once you shut this, you have to get like a screwdriver in order to pry them open.
Okay.
Okay. So it's missing knobs. Minor stuff, but you know.
Okay.
It helps with the functionality of it.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, we're gonna go to the master bedroom.
There we go.
Okay, so the fan, when it's running, it's got that grinding sound where the bearings are not greased anymore, so those bearings are getting worn on your fan motor.
So is that an easy fix of just doing something to it, or do you have
You'll find more than likely it's probably cheaper to just get a new fan rather than pay for the time and labor to repack the bearings.
Okay. All right, what's up next?
Master bathroom. It's going to be tough to see, but here we are in the master bathroom. The only thing I really noted in the master bathroom was underneath the south sink, or the left sink if you're staring at both. The faucet line that's underneath the sink that goes to this faucet has a hole in it, okay? So when the water was on, as soon as I turned the water on initially, with the initial inspection, it started dripping.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why that towel's hung right there in the shower, because I turned off the shut-off valve underneath here now that I saw it.
Okay.
But there's a pipe that needs to be replaced. Not a pipe, a hose.
A hose.
From the shut-off valve to the faucet, there's about a 12-inch hose that needs to be replaced.
So it's the supply hose.
It's a supply hose from the.
Is that a braided one or a plastic one? That's
No, it's a copper flex one that's the original one.
Oh, I see.
So it got kinked, and so there's pinholes in there that shoot out.
Okay, so
that just needs a braided one or a hose one.
Okay.
And then there was some standing water on the wood cabinet base, so I just noted that there's a little bit of water damage underneath the cabinet down here, minor, no mold or anything like that, but it's not perfect. So I want you to know I saw that.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go to the south bedroom and to the south bath. Ceiling.
Hold on. Let's try it again. South bedroom.
Okay, here we are in the south bedroom. Everything looks good in here for the most part. The only thing I noted was a small stain that's on the ceiling in the closet. Very small stain, but a stain is a stain is a stain, so I wanted you to know that I seen it. Right here. It's right on there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Okay. And that's it in the south bedroom.
Great. And what else do we have? Anything in the main bath?
I called this the west bathroom on the report.
Okay.
The only thing I noted in the west bathroom is the faucet does not have an aerator. So you get irregular spray splashing everywhere when you have this faucet on.
Okay.
Okay. It's not as pressurized right now because I turned off the water in the garage, but when the pressure's on, it kind of splashes everywhere without that aerator.
Okay.
Plus you don't have anything that's going to catch your sediment or anything that might be coming to the water line.
Okay.
Okay. And next thing is the east bathroom. Sorry. The bathroom we were just at does not have exhaust fan. It doesn't have a window that also is going to vent any sewer gases. Okay, I think when the house was built, there was probably a door that went to that
There was a door
extra
that had the
a
vented
window.
windows, yeah.
So without that window, without an exhaust fan, you have no ventilation for your sewer gases. So that's why it's a code requirement. That's why it's in the poor summary of the report, because it is something that needs to be there, some type of ventilation for that bathroom.
Okay, so they'd want to probably do something to have a window that opens.
Either that or penetrate the roof again and have an exhaust fan go up out of the ceiling.
Okay.
Because there's no attic, so I mean it would just go, whatever, 10 inches up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and that's it.